We live in an age of digital omniscience, where a few clicks reveal the craggy craters of the moon or the dusty plains of Mars with startling clarity. We have spent decades launching metal probes into the cold, silent vacuum of space, mapping alien worlds millions of miles away with a precision that borders on the divine. Yet, there is a cosmic irony nestled within our collective ambition. While we tilt our heads back and gaze longingly at the stars, the ground beneath us gives way to a vast, dark, and utterly alien realm that we have largely ignored. It is the greatest paradox of exploration. We are obsessed with finding a drop of water on a distant planet, yet we remain remarkably ignorant of the massive basins that cover more than 70% of our own home. Humanity is driven by a restless desire to conquer the heavens. We see the sky as a canvas for our future, a frontier that promises transcendence. But right beneath our feet, tucked away under miles of crushing salt water, lies an abyss that is more mysterious than the surface of the lunar landscape. Shockingly, we have better resolution maps of the moon's surface than we do of 95% of our own ocean floor. We know the height of every mountain on Mars, but we are essentially blind to the colossal canyons and jagged peaks that define the seabed. We are a species of voyagers who have mastered the art of looking away from the very depths that birthed us. In this story of the unknown, we find a central figure, the explorer. This isn't just one person, but an archetype of our shared curiosity, a representation of that nagging human need to touch what is forbidden. The explorer stands at the edge of the shore, looking out at the horizon, but they aren't looking at the waves. They are looking through them, imagining the descent. To follow the explorer is to leave the warmth of the sun and the comfort of the air. As you sink below the surface, the vibrant blues of the shallows begin to dim. The golden rays of the sun, which nourish the coral reefs and the dancing schools of fish, start to lose their strength. You pass through the twilight zone, where the light becomes a ghostly purple, and then you enter the midnight zone. In the midnight zone, at a depth of about 1,000 meters, the sun is completely extinguished. It is a place where light ceases to exist, and the temperature drops to a near-freezing embrace. Here, the explorer is truly alone. It is a haunting thought that while hundreds of people have felt the weightlessness of space, only a handful of humans have ever reached the absolute bottom of the Mariana Trench. We have walked on the moon more times than we have visited the deepest point of our own planet. This staggering imbalance leads to a chilling realization. We are strangers on our own world. We navigate the surface like tenants who have never dared to open the door to the basement, even though the basement takes up most of the house. The lack of logic in our priorities is hard to ignore. We spend trillions of dollars scouring the solar system for signs of ancient life, yet we treat the secrets of our own deep basins as an afterthought. There are mountain ranges underwater that dwarf the Himalayas and trenches so deep that Mount Everest could be tucked inside them with miles of water to spare. What ancient geological records are written in the silt of the trenches? We simply don't know. The ocean floor remains a blank map, a terra incognita that challenges our status as the masters of Earth. This exploration is not just a matter of curiosity, it is a battle against a realm that seems designed to repel us. Each meter increases hostility, turning the seabed into a literal death trap for our technology. The pressure builds until it is almost unthinkable. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The barrier between us and the deep is not just distance, but physics itself, a wall of liquid weight that threatens to crush any dream of discovery. We are reaching for the stars, but we are being held back by a blue wall we have yet to truly scale. The invisible wall is the first and most formidable guardian of the abyss. For the explorer, every meter of descent is a reminder that the ocean is not a place for fragile things. As the pressure mounts, the molecules of the water seem to tighten their grip on the hull. At the bottom of the deepest trenches, the weight of the water column is equivalent to over 8 tons per square inch. This is the crushing pressure of the deep, a force so immense it is like having an African elephant balance its entire weight on your thumb, then multiplying that sensation across every square inch of a vessel's surface. This physical reality turns the ocean floor into a fortress, While space offers the void of a vacuum, the deep offers the violence of weight. Every expedition is a high-stakes technical conflict, a battle between human ingenuity and a hostile environment that seeks to implode our most advanced machinery into a crumpled, unrecognizable mass of metal and wire. In this realm, there is no such thing as a minor leak. A structural failure at these depths results in an instantaneous collapse, a violent transition from life to nothingness that happens faster than the human nervous system can register a signal. The difficulty of seeing through the water creates what scientists call the mystery of the fog. We often take for granted the clarity of the atmosphere, which allows satellites to map the surface of Mars or the Moon with telescopic precision. But water is a stubborn, opaque veil. It swallows light within the first few hundred meters and blocks the radio waves we rely on for GPS and radar. This forces humanity to rely on the slow, painstaking process of sonar mapping. We are forced to send sound waves down into the dark and wait for them to bounce back, like a blind man tapping a cane against the floor to understand the shape of a room. It is an expensive endeavor, leaving vast swaths of the seabed as blurry shapes on our maps. If you feel the call of the deep and want to help us uncover more of these earthly mysteries, please subscribe to the channel and join our community of explorers as we descend into the unknown. Amidst this technical struggle, the abyss occasionally reveals strange anomalies that defy easy explanation. The most famous of these is the bloop, an unidentified acoustic signal recorded by hydrophones in 1997. It was an ultra-low-frequency sound of such immense power that it was detected by sensors thousands of miles apart. For years, the sound fueled nightmares of massive, undiscovered creatures dwelling in the lightless depths, beings far larger than any blue whale. While later attributed to the calving of massive icebergs, the psychological impact remains. It reminds us that something is still unknown, hidden within the folds of the deep-sea trenches. This highlights humanity's frailty. We are creatures trying to conquer a place where we simply do not belong. The emotional toll of being isolated in a pitch-black void, separated from life by a few inches of titanium, is a weight as heavy as the water itself. The scientific gap we face is not just a lack of maps, but a lack of understanding. We are barely scratching the surface of the biological and geological wonders hidden in the trenches. There are underwater volcanoes that could rewrite our understanding of plate tectonics and life forms that may hold the secret to ancient medicine. The stakes of this exploration are punctuated by the narrative of loss. Imagine a state-of-the-art probe suddenly going silent during a mission. No debris, just a sudden silence on the monitors. The deep only takes what it wants. Yet, the few successful glimpses we have caught reveal alien landscapes of shimmering mineral chimneys and plains of prehistoric silt that have remained untouched for millions of years. We are standing on the threshold of a world more alien than any planet, and the journey has only just begun. Beyond the silence of the sediment, the explorer encounters a landscape that defies every law of terrestrial biology. In the darkest corners of the ocean floor, hydrothermal vents rise like chimneys, spewing mineral-rich water at temperatures that would melt lead. Yet here, life thrives against all odds. These organisms do not look to the sun for sustenance. Instead of drawing energy from a distant star, they flourish through chemosynthesis, converting toxic chemicals into the breath of life. It is an alien backyard on our own planet, challenging our definition of life. This suggests that life does not require a sun to begin. It only needs a spark of geological heat and a complex soup of minerals. This realization brings us to the climax of our journey. The ocean floor is not merely a graveyard of lost ships. It is the ultimate archive of our planet's history. Every ridge and tectonic fracture tells the story of the movements that shaped the continents. To map the seabed is to read the blueprint of Earth. Some scientists believe these volcanic vents were the actual cauldrons where the first organic molecules assembled into life. While humanity spends billions searching for our origins among the stars, the answers may be buried under miles of seawater, locked in the basalt of the deep-sea trenches. We are looking for ourselves in the cosmos, yet we may have been born in the dark. However, this path to knowledge brings a profound moral dilemma. As humanity peers into the darkness, we must ask, Should we map the ocean floor if it leads to its exploitation? The same maps that serve scientific wonder also serve the interests of deep-sea mining. Beneath the waves lie vast deposits of cobalt and rare earth minerals, the materials required for our energy transition. But at what cost? We risk scarring a pristine, ancient wilderness before we even understand its ecology. The deep is a sanctuary that has existed for eons, and our arrival might be the beginning of its end. Perhaps some mysteries should remain protected, left as spaces where the unknown is allowed to persist without interference. This leads us to consider the unknown unknowns. For every species we have identified, thousands more remain invisible. There could be gargantuan structures built by forces we don't yet understand, or entities that communicate through methods we cannot perceive. The explorer realizes that our knowledge is a fraction of a vast library. We have spent centuries looking at the moon, but the true frontier is looking down into the crushing weight of the blue. The age of discovery is far from over. It has simply moved into a realm where the body cannot easily follow. This is the future of exploration. It belongs to those willing to face the dark of the trenches. If you were given the chance to descend to the bottom of the world, would you take it? Or does the thought of the infinite abyss fill you with dread? Let us know in the comments, as your thoughts help us map the human perspective. If you want to see what lies at the limit of human reach, watch our next video about the journey into the Mariana Trench. Ultimately, our fascination with the stars and our neglect of the sea reflects the human psyche. We prefer the light of distant suns to the heavy, claustrophobic secrets of the world that carries us. The ocean floor is the ultimate mirror of human knowledge, vast, deep, and mostly empty. It reminds us that for all our pride, we are still small. We have mapped the heavens, yet we remain strangers to the cradle that sustains our existence. As we conclude this expedition, the haunting image of that 80% blank map remains. It is a gaping void in our knowledge. Somewhere down there, in the silence and the cold, the secrets of life and the earth are waiting. The map is incomplete, the lights are off, and the deep is still watching us from the bottom of the world, a blank page waiting for a story yet to be written.